I was just coming to see you, he said. You look very thoughtful. Have you parted with your employers? How do you know that? Does everybody know about this? By no means. I heard of it occasionally. Where are you going? I was going to pay you a visit. What a good gentleman you are, Mr. Astley, I said. I haven't yet had my coffee. Let's go to the casino cafe where we can sit and have a talk. The casino cafe was only 100 steps away. The waiter brought me my coffee, we seated ourselves, and I lit my cigarette. Mr. Astley prepared himself to listen to me. I do not want to go away. On the contrary, I wish to stay here, I said. I never doubted that. Then something curious happened to me. I never planned to tell him of my love for Polina. In fact, I promised myself to avoid Polina in our talks as much as possible. You see, Mr. Astley was a very shy man. What is more, I knew that Polina had made a great impression on him, although he never spoke of her. I knew that he loved her secretly. At that moment, for some reason or other, I told him everything. I spoke to him of my love for her in detail. Mr. Astley sat without moving as he listened to me. He did not say a word as he looked into my eyes. Yet one thing I regret, that I made a guess about the Frenchman's influence on Polina. When I mentioned the Frenchman, Mr. Astley asked me whether I did right to speak about the matter without proofs. No, I think I have no right to speak about it. I know nothing for certain about them, I said. Then you did wrong to speak of them to me, or even to imagine things about them. I admit that. Just then told him of my last meeting with Polina, of my bad behavior before the Baron and his wife, of my last talk with the General, and of the visit which the Greers had paid me that morning. In conclusion, I showed Mr. Astley the note which I had received from Polina. He read it attentively. What do you think of it? I need to know your opinion, I said. Well, you know yourself that, if necessary, one can be kind to people whom one simply hates. I feel the same about Mademoiselle Polina and the Greers. Some unknown connection and circumstances exist between them. Polina's order 2 days ago was very strange. I find her behavior quite indecent for a young lady. But she cannot have guessed that you would carry out her absurd wish immediately. Do you know what? I suddenly asked him. I believe that you have already heard this story from someone, very possible from Polina herself. He looked at me in surprise. You look angry, he said calmly. I can see suspicion in your eyes. You do not need to be suspicious. I absolutely refuse to answer your question. Enough, I said with a strange emotion in my heart. We sat silently for a while. How could Polina have chosen Astley to be one of his confidants? I haven't predicted this. I thought of Polina and her attitude towards me. Polina had always been a mystery to me. I could find nothing good in my relationship with her. On the contrary, our relationship was strange and unreal. I have nothing to add to my story, I said. You're a good man. I need your advice. Do you know why the General has become so scared about his reputation? He took my stupid speech so seriously last night. Even the Greers found it necessary to visit me today in person. And Polina's note. When did she write it? What is her relationship with the Greers? Yet, what is her personal concern with the matter? Why is she interested in it? Why is the whole family so afraid of this respected Baron? What is your opinion of it all, Mr. Astley? I am sure you know more about it than I do. Mr. Astley smiled and nodded. Yes, I think I know more about it than you do, he said. The affair is connected with Mademoiselle Blanche. I feel certain of that. Well, Mademoiselle Blanche has a special reason for avoiding any trouble with the Baron at the Baroness. It might lead to some scandal. Also, she has been in Roulettenberg before. She was staying here 3 years ago, and in those days she was known as Mademoiselle de Cominges. As for Marquis de Greers, I do not know anything about him. Moreover, I have a friend who once met the said Marquis under a different name. Yet he possesses a large property and a good circle of friends. Possibly, he said. Mademoiselle Blanche may also possess that. She first came to Roulettenberg with an Italian. He was a prince of some sort. He possessed many rings and diamonds. He had a marvelous carriage. Later, her luck took a change for the worse. One fine morning, her prince disappeared. Diamonds, rings, horses, carriage, and all. She was in despair. She even tore her clothes in her anger. The next day, she was calm. She appeared in the casino with the Polish count. She looked much happier than she had been before. That day, she played at gambling table, staking the count's money the whole time. Her play grew more and more unsuccessful. Suddenly the count disappeared as well. 2 days later all her money came to an end. She left Roulettenberg and nobody heard of her ever again. Now, Mademoiselle Blanche wants to become Madame General in order to gain a stable position in a good society. She has some debts at present, as well does the general himself. In short, any scandal can influence their position in society. Your behavior could cause such a scandal. Do you understand now how things stand? No, I don't, I said loudly. If you knew who this Mademoiselle Blanche really was, did you not warn the general and his family? How could you do that? The general knows more about Mademoiselle Blanche than I do, he replied. Yet he still wants to marry her. He is madly in love with her, though she wants this marriage merely to enrich herself. The general is a man lost forever. However, it does not concern me. Paulina knows all about this Mademoiselle Blanche, and she is connected with the Frenchman in some way. I think it may be large debt or something of the kind. Nothing else would ever force her to have anything to do with him. Yes, that may be true. Oh, I can understand now why they are all so interested in the general's mother and her death. They are accepting the telegram to announce her death so impatiently. Their interests center around her. It is a matter of time. After her death, the general will marry. Paulina will pay off her debt, and the Griers will disappear after getting his money, I continued. That is my opinion. This is what he is now waiting for. What? You think that he is waiting for what? I know of nothing else, I replied. Paulina, she is waiting for the old woman's will. As soon as the money is received, she will throw herself on the Frenchman's neck. All women are like that. Even the proudest of them become slaves where is marriage concerned. She is in love with him. That is my opinion. Look at her, especially when she is sitting alone thoughtfully. It is all clear that is all she wants. Paulina. But who called my name? I stopped talking. I heard someone calling in Russian. Alexis Ivanovich. It is a woman's voice. At that moment, we were approaching my hotel. We had left the cafe long ago, without even noticing that we had done so. Yet I heard a woman's voice calling my name. Oh, I can see now whence whose voice came. It came from a lady there, the lady who was sitting on a chair and who had just been escorted to the veranda by a crowd of servants. I saw her luggage behind her. She must have arrived by train. I heard her calling my name again. She was pointing to me. Alexis Ivanovich, Alexis Ivanovich. We had almost reached to the porch, when my feet stopped moving due to my complete astonishment. My feet had seemingly glued themselves to the floor.